Hello everyone, my name is Teresita Gravina. I am a science and special need teacher in Italian high school. In particular, I'm working at Liceo Dognocchi, which is situated in Maddaloni in the south of Italy. Today I will talk to you about cloud computing, in particular the use of cloud computing at school. For this reason, I will give you some brief information about cloud computing application, which will be very useful at school, and I will talk to you about one example of activity that I have already done in my school. And after the general benefit about cloud computing, I will talk to you about why cloud could be very useful in teaching activity and in general at school. I think one of the most important reason is networking, because when you share data with your pupils and decide the role of each pupils, if they could only visualize or modify, you create a network inside your class. And in this way you create a network about your students, and they could collaborate when they are working on their assignment. In this way they are allowed to learn together, because maybe in the group there are some students with more advanced skill about something, can create cooperative learning. In addition, this type of learning occurred not only during the class activity, but could continue also when the students are at home alone. So in this way, if they are in trouble, they could contact you, but also their colleague, and ask for some help. Another important benefit from cloud computer is that thanks to the many applications, you can track the work of your students. You can check if they are working on their assignment, and also you can decide a deadline, which is very strictly when you use cloud computing activity, and control if the student respected this deadline. Last but not least, thanks to cloud computing, you can collaborate and cooperate with people all around the world. In this slide, I will give you some information about cloud application which could be very useful at school. The first one is Dropbox. Is something like you can see in the logo, because it's a box on your computer, so it's a folder, and you can use this folder to put everything you want to share with other people, or just some file you need to use to other device. So you can put this material on this box, open the website Dropbox on another computer, and you can use your own data. Another interesting application is Prezi. Prezi is useful to prepare very engaged presentation, because are very different from normal software to prepare a presentation. For educational use, it's free, and you can prepare your presentation and decide which person could only visualize or modify or prepare with you this presentation. So it could be very useful for students to prepare, I think, the material about the final phase of one project, so they can collaborate from their home to prepare the presentation. Another engaging application is ThinkLink. This application is useful because from one image you can choose your own image or something proposed on the website. You can put on the image some link or add video or add audio. So only from one only image you can give to your students so many input. In addition, when you prepare this image at the end, you can have your embed code and put this image on your blog, website, on wherever you want. And on ThinkLink there is a system of tracking, so you can see how many people visualize the image. Another very useful application is Padlet. Padlet is something like a virtual wall. You can have so your own virtual board and put on this board link, video, some notes, and as the other application, you can decide if this wall could be private, so you can only visualize and modify them, or add some people to modify this wall, or could be also public. It's very interesting that in Padlet you can choose the opportunity to moderate the things are published on the wall. In addition, the material could be exported in very different way. You can also have a QR code, and also you can share the Padlet on the main social network or export like Excel or PDF. Also, this application could be very useful for cooperative learning and to continue to have a contact with your students also when they are at home or during the summer. Edmodo is another useful application, useful to create a virtual class. In this way you can talk with your students, and in addition they can access to their homework. In Edmodo there is also the possibility to talk with the parents of your students, and also you can create a team with your colleagues in order to collaborate for a project. And like a social network, you can choose some topics and follow all the information which are published about this topic. The last application is Storify. Storify is an application to create a digital storytelling using material from social network, website. I think could be very useful also for teaching activity, because it's a way to search a contact for something you are teach to your students and the everyday reality, and could be important also to create material where the students know that all the website or the material introduced into the Storify are verified by the teacher. And also in this way the Storify could be public or just shared with some person. And like ThinkLink, you have an embed code, so the Storify could be shared on your own blog or on a social network. Finally, I will give you some information about the Google Cloud application. I think this application will be the most useful. One of the reason is why you need only one password. The password you need for your mail on Google, it's the same to have access to the other application, and they are very simple because it's something like a word processor, a worksheet processor, program to prepare a presentation. In addition, there is Google Drive with an application to have your own data on cloud and share this with people, as I previous talk about Dropbox. And this kind of application are very simple, and everyone who had used a computer to use a word processor or an worksheet processor could use this in a very simple way. In this last slide, I will show you one experience I have made during this winter with my pupils. I organized with the students a campaign in order to recognize the high temperature value in Maddaloni, where the school is established. I divided the students in two groups, and each student had one or two times when he had to recognize the temperature. He can use their own device like smartphone or just found the value on internet. I use Google Calendar in order to organize this experience and the schedule of each student. For example, the first day of February was the Alessandro who had to recognize the temperature. Then the students can add the value in this shared worksheet where they have to add their value. For this type of worksheet give the opportunity also to check if the students are working. In fact, when one student open the worksheet, you can see who is connected and can also change the value. For example, you can as you can see in the screen, you can change the value. Okay, 12. And now we have a new value. After, when the worksheet was complete, I work with my students in order to evaluate the mean value of temperature, and we use a formula like in a worksheet. And then we add the graph. It's very simple. You select the column you are interested with, and here you can insert a different type of graph. I prefer this type of graph. And also at the end we calculate with formula the mean value of temperature along all months of February. I give to the students also the data related to the previous years. About in February, we have the data of Grazzanise, which is an airport near Caserta with an meteorological observatory, and also I give them the value of the whole year of 2050. And in addition, the value important for determine the climate about the last 30 years. Which all this kind of data, the students had to prepare a presentation. Last thing about a Google Sheet is that there is the possibility to add comment. For example, when Alessandro made an error, I can add a comment. We have already. Please check this this value, and also a chat. In this way, while the students are working or while you are checking their work, you can interact with them. So in the end, when they have all data, they prepare a presentation with all the material they recognize. This is their own data recognizes, and made comparison with the other data. Also here I can add comments. We have comments made on this worksheet, and so we can interact also when they are at home. I am at the school. Finally, I use Google Drive to put together all the file related to this to this work, and I can share this folder with my students. So if I want to compare this data with person of another country in order to have difference between climate in different place, I can share this material with other people. It's very simple. You can go to share and insert the email of the person interested in this work. This is all for this video. I hope you found it interesting, and if you have some question, you can just send me an email. Thank you so much.